So let's make a change to our application. So we're going to go into the tab UI builder here and add in this UX component that we've previously created, and we'll go and change the label over here from UX component to UX, and then we'll just go ahead there and save it. And so the application now has two buttons on the tab UI. So now let's go back to Alpha Cloud and we'll publish this now. So we'll go ahead, we'll choose the same profile, and we'll go ahead now and begin the process. So here's the progress as the application is being published and deployed. And as soon as this publish completes, the deployment dialog will open up, and we can see now that this application has been published now, and it's now version 8 of the application. So now this the published application will start deploying, and when the deployment finishes we'll be able to run it. So our deployment has now finished, and now version 8 of our application should be running. So let's go over now and launch that. So we'll go back to our browser, and we're now launching version 8 of the application, and you can see now we have the second button that we added to the tab UI. So there's our UX component and there's our grid component. So now we're using version 8 of the application, but let's say that maybe we made some error in version 8 of the application and we'd like to go back now to version 7 of the application. So to do that, we just need to redeploy a previously published version of the application. So let's go back now to the web control panel now and go back to the Alpha Cloud menu, and this time we're going to choose Advanced. Let me just bring that into view nicely here. So Alpha Cloud, Advanced, and then we'll go to Deployments over here. And we're going to go ahead now and add we're going to redeploy this application, switching back to the previous version of the application. So you can see here that the current deployment is version 8 of the application. It's using Alpha Anywhere version 12, and it's using build 3846 of Alpha Anywhere. So we can go now and add a new deployment, or we can actually schedule a new deployment for our current deployment, which is primary, or we can also add a new deployment. So the reason for adding a new deployment is you might want to have a deployment called test, another deployment called production, and another one called QA, and you can publish different versions of the application to each deployment. So right now we're going to stick with the primary deployment, and let's add another schedule. So when you schedule a deployment, you can specify when the deployment should start and end. So typically the deployments start with the current time and they are perpetual, but you might want to just deploy a new version of your application at 2 o'clock in the morning when there are no users on your website. So there's a lot of flexibility around scheduling deployments. So right now we'll go and schedule this new deployment, but we'll roll back to version 7 of our application, and now we can choose which alpha build to use. So we want to use the current pre-release build, so we'll go ahead there and choose build 3850, and then we'll basically apply these changes. So now as soon as we apply the changes, that becomes the deployment, and now we can actually begin the process of deploying the application. So we'll go ahead now and we'll say show the cloud view so we can see the progress of the deployment. So we'll go ahead now and click the close button, and this is going to start the process of actually deploying the application. So we'll pause now and pick this up once this deployment has completed. So our deployment is now ready, so let's go ahead now and run this. So we'll click the icon over there, the hyperlink, and now we're running the application, and we can see now that we've gone back to the previous version of the application because there's only one button over here. So what we've shown is how every time you publish an application, a new version is created, and at any point in time you can redeploy a previous version of the application, choosing the version of the application and also the version of the alpha server. In this video we'll show how you can create a publishing profile to publish to Alpha Cloud. So whenever you publish to Alpha Cloud you need to select the publishing profile that you want to use. So let's go ahead now and create a new publishing profile. So we'll go ahead there and click the OK button, and we'll give this a name. So we'll call it my second profile, and then we'll go ahead there and click OK, and this is now going to bring up the Alpha Cloud Publishing Profile Builder. So when you publish an application, you can specify what website you're publishing the application to. So at this point I only have a single website. If I wanted to create an additional website, I could switch to advanced mode, and then you can specify the application route. So by just specifying a / here, I'll be able to run my application by just specifying the website name. But if I specified an application path, for example like app1, then the URL to my app would be the root name of the application, of the website, sorry, followed by the application path. So again, I'm going to just leave this as just / here, and then I'm going to specify what version of the Alpha Anywhere server I want to use when I publish. So I'm going to choose the current pre-release version. So now I'm going to go ahead now and click OK, and then I need to specify what my connection strings are for this publishing profile. So I'll just go ahead and accept the default connection strings and also the default storage strings, and now I can go ahead now and click close, and now you'll see I've created a second publishing profile over here so I can publish to the cloud. Thanks very much.